Do I know how to cook a haggis? Do I know how... Words, fuck's sake, words. Do I know how to cook fish and chips? Yeah, no, maybe. I'm gonna hold that on a wee bit of Scottish here. I'm gonna go, maybe. Maybe meaning, I can. But maybe no, I can't, eh? But do I know how to cook some mackerel and chips? Being honest, I know how to cook chips. Being honest, I've never cooked mackerel in my life. It looks a wee bit icky inside. So I'm going to take away any eggs or inner organs out of it, and I'll give it a wee bit of a rinse. Make it pretty inside. I'm going to take its heat off. I'm going to split it down, and I'm going to cook it up. I'll probably put some salt on it, but I honestly don't know what I'm doing. Now, if you don't know what you're doing when you're cooking, there's two choices. You either make something really yummy, or you make something shite. I'm going to make something really yummy. So, I might not know what I'm doing, but I'm going to have some fish and chips. And hopefully it's going to be really yummy. As I said, a wee bit yucky inside. Going to give a wee rinse out. Make it a wee bit better. So we're a wee bit better. I've got a hot pan going there. And the first thing is, I don't want its wee eyes staring at me. And its wee gills may taste really nice, but I'm not going to do them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find behind the gills and then cut off. And so its wee face, its poor wee face. I could put this in the bin, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to yank it to the back of the garden. And I'm going to hope someone who needs to eat it gets to find it. So I'm going to throw that away. So its wee head's gone. The pan's not big enough, so I'm going to take its tail off. And apparently this takes like 9 minutes to cook. Not after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and work out how to cut it in half. And honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have a sneaky suspicion what I'm doing. What I'm doing is, I've got something which I can cook. And I'm going to make sure it's as delicious as I can possibly make it. And after I've done this, I'll go and have a wee check to see how to cook it. I'll find out what I've done wrong. Okay, this is getting quite interesting because I've got a lot of the bones out of there, and there's a lot of bones in this, but I've got like its spine there. And so I'm going to try and take its spine off without cutting it so that the bones come out. And there must be a correct way of pulling its spine out. You know, like Predator in the movie. And that's the correct way, because that takes most of the bones out. And so, a minute ago, it was a big fat fish. Oh God, it's quite a beautiful piece of fish. But I'm gonna fry it, and it says 6 minutes. I'm gonna put a timer on for 6 minutes. That's 7 minutes. That'll do. That'll give me a wee bit of time to piss around. And I'll drop a little bit of olive oil in here, which means my heat's too hot, because olive oil is not very good at hot heat. But I'll put a wee bit of olive oil in there. a wee bit of salt. And you know, when they say cracked salt, rock salt, whatever it is salt, do you know, bog standard fucking salt is the same thing. Chemically, it's the same thing. You can't legally sell salt as salt if it's not salt. And salt is just like sodium. Is it sodium chloride? Right. But now I've got nice hot heat there. Bit of salt on this. Should have dried it. That's a vital ingredient there. I don't know if you noticed. Vital ingredient. Now, I'm not going to touch this because I don't know what's going to happen to it. I'm going to touch that because, you know, as I said, I'm having fish and chips. So I'll just do a few shitey chips. But I'm not going to touch this because I don't want it to, fall apart. And it's almost definitely going to fall apart. Now this, I want a new one of this. And this is not what you think it is. This is the cheapest, nastiest, thinnest thing. It's paper thin, it's so cheap and nasty and horrible, and it will fall apart. But you know what? It's absolutely wonderful for this. Because it can sneak under anything. So that's just got a wee bit cooked now. And the skin's getting a bit crispy. Now I kind of want something a bit lemony on it, but I don't know what I've got that's lemony. Going through my 50 or 60 packets of herbs, jars of herbs, I'm not seeing anything lemony. I'd like some lemongrass or something like that. But what I do have is I do have a bit of lemon juice. So I'm going to take a little bit of the oil out. So I've taken a wee bit of the oil out. I'm going to put a lot of lemon juice in. I kind of want a bit of brightness to it. It's getting there. It's almost completely cooked through on the top. Sorry, it's almost cooked through to the top. I'm going to turn it over and see how it is underneath. Well, there's a bit of a crisp there. It's not as pretty as I wanted it to be, but it's pretty good. Now I want to thicken up the juice which has come off that. When I say come off that, I mean it's all that lemon juice I threw in. But to make it into a juice, a proper gravy, it is thickened up. And what most people don't know is a bit of butter is pretty goddamn awesome for thickening things up. I'm not going to get into a 5-star restaurant, even as a customer, cooking this. Now, I want to taste what the juices are like. That's reminded me that it's actually cooked. I don't believe it's cooked, so I'm going to keep going. But I'm going to taste what the juices are like. Apologies for the sound of silence in the background. A bit more wine in there. Don't mind if I do. That's very sharp. Now I'm a bit worried about this because I had some of my cream yesterday and it was a bit thick. And because it was a bit thick, it didn't really settle down, which meant it kind of split a bit. When it said it was double cream, I don't think it was double cream. I think it was like I think it was double cream and its mates. So this time, before I put it in a vain attempt to no mess it up, did I put garlic in here? No, I didn't, but I have now. Garlic lemon. Taking the heat off. Putting a little bit of cream in. And you know what, there might even be a little bit more wine going in this. Oh, just a dab, just a wee dab of wine. I hate this bit because you know when you get the smell of it and you're thinking it's really yummy, but you're still waiting for it to be cooked. I like to just lightly caramelise my cream. Oh gosh, I do a pretty similar sauce to that for mussels or something like that. Sorry, out of frame, out of mind. So now I'm going to take it out, lay it out on a plate. Ah, wait, come on, I just want the last bit of the sauce on there. As you can see, I'm very carefully using a wooden spatula so I don't do any damage to my frying pan. in that other parallel world where actually was not concentrating on filming. And because I'm being a wee bit poncy, a few wee chives out of the garden. If you buy chives from the supermarket in a little pot, use what you need. Use what you need, and whatever's left, stick that in a pot, like at the windowsill or something, and keep growing it. Because you don't have to buy it every time. You can just have it, and it's going to be quite yummy. Yon chips, boring. But I wanted something with my fish, with my mackerel. I wanted something to go with it, but I was just interested in how do I cook a mackerel. And now I know. And you know what? I think it's going to be okay. And I'm wrong. It's not okay. That's fucking delicious. Just saying. Do this. Took a minute. Fried it. Bit of lemon. Bit of garlic. Bit of cream. And that's all that was in there. Maybe a bit of pepper. Can't mind. But this is fucking heaven feed the gods. Now, if you're going to do this to impress someone, don't do chips. Fuck. Sorry. Oh gosh, sorry. Oh my god. The zing of the lemon just pulling through there. It's like a kick in the taste buds from the gods. So if you're going to do this for someone, a friend, a partner, don't do it with chips. But if you're doing it for yourself, and you haven't seen anyone for over 100 days, result, yum, scran.